Okay, so we're going to talk about currency exchange, which is a bit of a problem in the world right now. And the reason why is because every time we travel, every country almost on the planet has different currency. So as a result, we need to change the currency that we have into the currency of the country that we're in. Uh, Most of Europe, for example, right now is using the euro, but still in Europe, there are still places that are using, like the Swiss franc, for example, is still unique, and the UK pound is still unique. So we have these places where we have these other currencies we have to be able to use. So the question is, how can we change from one currency to another? So what we have is, this is just an example in an airport. We have what's called an exchange rate table, where you have a bunch of different currencies, generally all listed against one currency in a table. And the objective is you read the table and it tells you what exchange rate you have. So then what do we do with that exchange rate? Well, either you multiply or you divide. It's real easy. There are only two possibilities. Which one do we use? Well, let's look at an example. Let's suppose I had 1,200 Canadian dollars and I wanted to transfer it to UK pounds, United Kingdom pounds. The exchange rate, and I just looked this up today, the exchange rate is 1 UK pound is equal to 1.6346 Canadian dollars. So that's typically how an exchange rate is given to you, talking about where the two currencies are equal. So then you look at it and you say, okay, well, 1 UK pound must be worth more than 1 Canadian dollar, right? Because 1 UK pound is worth a number which is larger than 1 of the Canadian dollars. So that means that if I had the two currencies set up next to each other and I was trying to work out which one was equal, all I would have to do is just see which one's got more. Now, that makes no sense. Anyway, let's try it again. Let's suppose we take 1,200 and we divide by 1.6346. We do the division. We get $734, 734 pounds and 12 pence. So this is telling us that we have fewer UK pounds than Canadian dollars. And that kind of makes sense, right? Because each UK pound is worth more than 1 Canadian dollar. So I know for this particular question I needed to divide. If my exchange rate was different, then I would have to multiply. So, to recap, you look at the exchange rate and you try to figure out which one of the two currencies is worth more. Whichever one's worth more is going to have fewer of that currency in the final question. Now, something that makes this a little bit trickier is there is occasionally commission charged. So not only do they do these exchange rates, but they also charge a commission for the exchange rate. And a 2% commission is typical, sometimes more, sometimes a little less, usually more. Anyway, so it's 2%. So you just go 2 divided by 100 times the currency, and you get the amount of commission. Well, how a commission works is it's a charge that the currency exchange place uses to make money. So they'll take the commission off of the amount of money that they're going to give you and give you a different amount of money. So for example, the 734.12 pounds that we had before, they would subtract off the commission, the 14.68 pounds, and you'd end up with 719.44 pounds. So they've taken some money off, and that's their fee for having done the currency conversion for you. So, things to remember. Multiply or divide depending on whether you want the final answer to be bigger or smaller, and that depends entirely on the currency exchange. The commission is a percentage which is generally removed from the final amount of money.